In this video, we are going to learn what is class, how we define class, what all things it contains, and what is object, how we create object, and we'll have some insight on constructor as well. Hello everyone, myself Gulab Moria, and I'm going to walk you through all these things. What is class? Class is nothing but a blueprint or a template of an entity. In real world, an entity can be anything or any specific object like a bird, car, employee, human. For instance, I've taken employee as a class, and employee has something and it does something. Whatever he has is property, or you can say it is field, and whatever he does is the method. Here, employee ID, employee name, age, address, salary, these are all properties that employee has, and the work, save money, invest, these are the methods that employee does. Let's take another example. A car. A car will have model number, company name, country, color, price. These are the field that car has. And speed up, brake, get current speed. These are the method that car does. Let's flip to Visual Studio, see that in action. Let's add a class. I have right clicked on the project. Now I will add the new item, or here is a class. We can name that as employee. 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 And we'll add here. This is how we define a class keyword, and the name of the class. All the code that belongs to this class will be written inside these curly braces. And by default, the access modifier of this class is internal, means it can be only accessible within the same assembly. You should always make it public so that you can access it from anywhere with the same assembly or from other assembly. Class will have some properties, variable definitions, and methods in it. Let's define that. Let's first define a variable like public public string variable emp category, and class will have properties in it, various properties like employee ID, employee name. I'll be writing that one by one. Employee ID, employee name. I'm just copy pasting it. Employee name will be string. Employee age will be integer. Employee age, now employee address, and that will be string. Now I'll remove this public. Why it is not okay? I have the basic difference between variable and a property is you get more control of getting and setting data in property than the variable. Hence, you should always use properties in your class. Now it's time to define methods also. Let's write a method who will just print uh, work is done, invested money, than the actual logic you will be writing in your real life project. Like public void, it is not returning anything, hence void work. Now it will just print console.writeLine work is done. It is done. I'll just copy paste one more thing, and now invest. I'll write invest. Investing, like this. This is what the class can contain. The basic example of the class is this. You may have fields like read only, constant, and you may have methods like constructor in a class. What is object? Object is an instance of a class. What does this mean? This means object will have real data in it. Here in this diagram, employee is a class which is a template or a blueprint you can think of. Whereas obj1 and obj2 are real data. I mean, both have real data in it. Let's flip to Visual Studio. Now it's time to create object. Object is created with the help of new keyword like this. First we'll have name of the class, and then the name of object, and then new keyword and the name of the class. As soon as we use new keyword, it allocates memory to this object, and this process of creating object is called instantiation. This object now will have each and every property whatever we have defined inside the class. See, we have address, we have name, we have age, whatever we have defined is here. Now we can assign value to it like this. Employee ID is 101001, and obj is, I'm just assigning value to it. Name is xyz, obj dot, but just putting dot I can get any everything whatever I have defined so far. Age is 15, or let's say 25. Obj dot address. Now address is India. Now obj I can I can I will not assign. If I will not assign this emp category, this will be treated as null. I'll not define. We'll see that. Obj dot will call the methods now. Obj invest, obj dot work. Now let's debug it. The control has come. Initially obj will have nothing in it, just a property, means whatever we have not assigned, it is null. Age is integer, hence 0. Its default value of integer is 0, and it is again the default value. Employee name is null, emp category is null. Now I'll be now we have assigned 10001 for employee ID. Employee name is xyz. Employee age is 25. Now I'll be going inside the invest. Now this will print investing. Now we'll go inside work. This will print it is done. See, here it is. Whenever you create object of a class, a constructor is being called. Even if you haven't defined a constructor, C# provides a default constructor for you. What is constructor? Constructor is a special method whose name is same as the class name, and it doesn't have any return type in it. Constructor, the work of constructor is to initialize the state of object. As I said earlier, parameterless and public constructor is provided by C# like this. Public constructor and the name of the class and the name of constructor name both are same like this, and it is a special method. Whenever we create an object of the class, this method is being called to initialize the state of object. Let's see that in action. Let's run it. Now let's debug F10 by using F10. F11. See, here it goes. It goes here, and now object of the class is created, and as we have not supplied anything in the constructor, it has not initialized any data. Let's see that. Now we have not assigned anything in the emp category. Let's initialize it through constructor. Let's write another constructor here. Public employee, and this will take string as parameter. This is called parameterized constructor. String category. Now what we can do, we can assign this category in the emp category. Like this. Put a debug point here. We'll remove this. Now whenever you create an object of the class, you have to pass that a1. Now this will go in the second constructor, not the first. Let's debug it. See, it has taken category and it has assigned to EMP category. Now if you go here in object, you will see EMP category is A1, and if you go ahead, all the values will be assigned like previously we have done. We should make a note of one thing. When you have not written any constructor, C# provides default constructor. As soon as you have written one constructor, C# cancels that out. Means at this time you have only one constructor, because we have written one constructor, and the C# constructor, the default one, has been cancelled out. Next is object initializer. Whatever initialization code we have written so far can be written in a single line by using object initializer like this. Obj1 equal to new obj, new employee, and this like this. To speed things up, I have already copied things. See, we can, instead of doing this, we can do like this. In a single line, we can initialize the name, employee ID, employee age, and everything, whatever employee has. Eh, That's all I had in this video. Thank you for listening.